Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about team culture. And one of the things that probably some of the experience I have experienced in the past in my practice and in other practices that I worked in as well, and certain things that can make your team work in a more cohesive way. They can get along very well and you can have a good work environment and good team culture. First, for credibility, my name is Khaled. I have been a dentist for 20 years. I own and run my own practice, Lakeside Dental Spa in Hervey Bay in Queensland. And I've been running my practice for the last 14 years. And I took it from a team of 3 staff members, and now we're close to 40 staff members. So I recall probably a story, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. So beside my practice, I also own more than one dental practice in the past, and some of them I bought from previous owners. So let me tell you about the first experience. So I bought a practice from a dentist, and the dentist was working as a practice owner, and he also had an associate hygienist work for him, and he had probably a team of 5 staff members. But when I took over the practice, I noticed that there were two, although the practice is not huge, it's not big, but there were 2 roles. There was a clinical manager and a practice manager. So the clinical manager was looking after all the clinical stuff in the clinical areas, and the practice manager was looking after all the front office area and all the business side of the business. But what I've noticed is that 2 managers don't communicate together. There was some tension between them. So basically, the practice manager will not communicate directly to the clinical manager, and the clinical manager would not communicate directly to the practice manager. And that was a very awkward situation when you have 2 managers in one team, not a big team, and those 2 managers are not getting along together, and they try not to communicate, and the staff try to kind of like find or manage their daily things among them. It's similar to having a family where both parents don't communicate at all, and the children in the family are trying to navigate between the 2 parents just to get some decision made from both of them. And that was a very awkward situation. In my career, in my own practice, have I faced something similar? Every now and then, sometimes you create and build this beautiful team, and then suddenly you start to see some changes in your team culture. And sometimes, as an owner, you have to take responsibility for that, because sometimes there is lack of clarity between each person in your team of what exactly the roles are. There is lack of clarity on how they can manage grievances. So if they have any problem in your workplace, whether it's problem with their pay, problem with their hours, problem with their daily tasks or interaction with other staff members, they lack clarity on how they can address that. And if you leave this area open and empty, then they will have to improvise. And usually they improvise by talking to other staff members, trying to sort out problems themselves, usually not in the most positive way. They start to create little groups in your team, and those little groups will try to kind of like dominate the other groups in a way just to make sure their daily tasks are done in an efficient way. And that can create a culture that can be very hard. If you find yourself in that situation, I think what you need to do as a practice owner is to track back and see where the problem, how the problem started, see what have you created in this team to allow that. So if you have lack of clarity in policies and kind of like you don't have a workplace handbook or policies, you need to create a handbook policy that have clarity on everything that you need to know about. So if they have problem with their pay, they have problem with their hours, they have any grievances, they want to put a complaint, how to address and who is the person to report to. Once you create this clarity, you need to meet with every staff member, either one-on-one or in a group meeting, and explain to them, first apologize for the lack of clarity, and then explain to them how are we going to move forward as a team, and set some clear rules and boundaries on how you expect them to behave and conduct themselves within your team. Then slowly let them take this information, and then you realize some of the staff members will be on board and will agree to all these changes and will try to support you in your decisions. Some will not be happy, and they will start to create their own little problems with their groups. Those staff members, you will probably have to deal with them one-on-one in a direct way. As long as you clarified with them your expectations, now you can go through some disciplinary actions and make sure that they can align themselves within your team. And now the choice is in their hand. Either they will align themselves in your team, or they will have to eventually, or they will struggle to align themselves, and then following the right procedures through the disciplinary actions, you might decide that they're not the right fit in your team, and then slowly you will have to eliminate them from your team so you can replace them with new staff members who can align with how your practice is run and their philosophies. Then slowly over a course of probably 6 months or 12 months, you can regain your practice culture again and then build your dream team. So if you have been through something like that in the past, or you face something, please share it in the comment below, or feel free to reach out to me. I hope you find this information helpful, and if you do, make sure you like and share it to your friends and colleagues, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get notified when I release more videos. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to me.